So today we decide to, in honor of action movies, is to say, what if Michael Bay had directed Wizard of Oz?
So certainly any time that the witch vanishes, rather it being a puff of like pink smoke, it would obviously be a giant explosion, giant fireball.
Well, and probably it wouldn't be so much in Kansas, in some slum in some city.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
And Dorothy would probably be a little more,
skimpily dressed.
Yeah, what shall we say?
To put this tastefully.
And what, rap instead of Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
No, yeah, probably. That, or would there actually be singing, or would it just be... No, well, if there was singing, that's only because Dorothy was like a stripper.
Oh, I completely see that. And she's trying to escape.
Yeah, she's trying to get out of her lifestyle.
Yeah. And so, so all the people in Oz are like...
Her manager, or her best friend.
Yeah.
Well, what about Toto then? Is it an actual dog, or is it like...
I think it's got to be some sort of transformer.
That might be a little much.
No, but I could see it be some sort of just bizarre...
How about a python?
Python. We're going with Python.
Direct from Snakeogram.
Snakes, which dropped us.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
We gotta find another sponsor. My wife kind of complained because they sent us some, as sponsors, some free shipments, and anyways,
she wasn't too happy with it.
Wasn't too happy with it.
I hear Lenovo wasn't too happy about it either. Your dog?
No, it was bad.
Okay.
So Tim's looking into a new sponsor that might be a little less snaky.
So hopefully, but
yeah. So I think we have this here.
Okay. So now what about the Munchkins?
The Munchkin. Here, the thing is, Oz would be a lot more tripped out. Well, it wouldn't be tripped out. That'd be more like Tim Burton. Yeah, Tim Burton.
Which would be scary too, actually.
But they would have to be computer generated in some fashion.
I'm thinking it'd be more of like a Blade Runner sort of atmosphere. Like, it'd be like sort of like New York, except a lot more bright, much more bizarre, much
kind of. Well, do you ever watch the Tin Man on Sci-Fi?
No, I never saw it.
Oh, it has kind of a little more of that sort of, not quite that feel, but heading that way, because like the Wizard of Oz is like this druggy and stuff like that. But yeah, I could kind of see. Have you ever seen The Wiz?
No, I've heard of that though.
Okay, that's also kind of interesting. Very kind of urban version of Wizard of Oz.
Well, the Cowardly Lion probably wouldn't actually be cowardly. He would probably be pretty vicious. Like, Dorothy would have to fight him off with like her bare hands and subdue it.
No, see, I think the Cowardly Lion should be cowardly, but you would have all these like. He'd be like one of those annoying side characters that would have all these quips and like whining voice, and he'd be all nerdy, and like really overplay the stereotype.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. He'd be like a computer programmer then.
Yeah, exactly.
So he'd be like, "Oh, game over, man."
Yeah, I think that would be much more the style.
Yeah. Okay.
Tin Man would have to be like some hardcore Marine. Because here, if nothing else, Michael Bay, the law enforcement, the military, he does a pretty good job with having, So he would have to be, Tin Man would be this military guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about Scarecrow?
Scarecrow, I'm not sure on Scarecrow yet.
Probably a hippie, I would say.
Love interest?
Oh, that could be a love interest.
But I don't know how you pull that off.
I don't know either. I can't imagine Michael Bay having a guy that was actually made of straw.
No. The Tin Man would have to be love interest because he's got to get his heart.
Oh, that's true.
And he's the Marine.
Oh, okay. That's right. Man, you're right. Tin Man would have to be love interest.
Okay.
So, Scarecrow, I'm not sure what to do with this guy. Maybe he's the druggie.
He could be the drug. Yeah, we could see. Or
maybe instead of being a straw, it's just like he's always smoking weed.
No. So he's kind of like this idiot savant. His brain's like completely messed up, but every once in a while just say something really awesome that makes sense.
Yeah, and then people will look at him weird, like, how'd you figure that out?
Yeah, I think that's certainly Jerry Bruckheimer would be all over this idea.
All right, now what about the witches?
I know. No, Jerry Bruckheimer doesn't work with Michael Bay, does he?
Not really.
Okay,
no.
They're just similar.
But kind of similar. They do blockbusters.
That's what. Yeah, for some reason they had. Okay, ignore that then. So Munchkins, we don't know. I feel like they should be pale people with some sort of weird twitch.
That, or they're like the desert citizens of a third world country. Kind of like.
Oh yeah, that would make
Temple of Doom sort of thing.
Yeah, that's true. That would be.
And they're like vertically challenged.
But we need more action scenes.
This is true.
Well,
Well,
the whole tornado scene would be fabulous.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you'd have to have, like, fire jets accidentally in there, and, like the house is being destroyed, she's jumping from her house to something else.
Her house is being torn apart bit by bit, and so by the end, she's, like, clinging on to a giant frisbee. A giant. I don't know why giant frisbee came out.
Like a door to a car.
Yeah, car door. There you go.
Yeah, I think that would be yes. So some sort of tornado-ish sort of thing, or it could be like the end of the world for all.
Well, and anytime the Wicked Witch shows up, she'd be hurling fireballs at them, and they'd have to be return fire somehow.
Yeah.
So probably
we got the Marine with a gun, and I think
that's true. And Glinda would probably, rather than just give her ruby slippers, she would probably give her like
some sort of
like a AK-47 or something.
That'd be okay. Come on. So you got stripper Dorothy with the AK-47. with a druggie, this like computer nerd, and a Marine.
Yeah.
That is completely a movie that would be made.
Yeah. Totally.
And then the flying monkeys.
The flying monkeys, they would be vicious.
They'd be like feral.
Yeah. They'd be like old zombie monkeys.
Zombie monkeys, yeah.
Flying zombie
cyborg monkeys. Flying cyborg monkeys.
Yep.
Something like that. And they have this crazy like speech, kind of like that disc from that little tiny transformer that does. They have to talk like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, what about Emerald City? I'm not sure what else to do with that one.
Yeah.
I'd say, well, for one thing, it's probably guarded by a transformer.
Of a different color.
Yeah, exactly. And Oz himself, that would be, man, it'd be hard to outdo the giant head, but
yeah,
Michael Bay could do it.
But it would have to be not like a floating head. It'd be like an actual severed giant head.
Okay. Yeah. That varied its color. It'd go from like green to purple to. It would shoot like laser beams out of its eyes.
Yeah,
I think.
Very Cave of Wonder sort of thing. Or Max Headroom, Evil, or something like that.
Oh yeah, there you go. So what's the climax?
So the water's not going to work.
The what?
The water.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, obviously they have to storm the castle. That's part of it.
Like
they mass the armies of the Emerald City to.
No. The Munchkins have to come. Oh,
okay, yeah, there you go.
All the third world citizens.
Yeah, and then they're like beating up on the cyborg zombie flying monkeys.
What are the people called? The soldiers.
Oh, the soldier. I don't know.
The brown. No, the.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and they would have this tribal like version of that.
Yeah,
kind of like Matrix. When they're in where they have the mosh pit and wherever they live.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I just forgot the name of it though.
Is that Zion?
Zion, yeah, that's it.
Horrible. I hope, yeah, horrible Zion. So yeah, they have all these kind of maybe even like Area 50 or District 9 sort of.
Now, did Dorothy still get captured? Are they going to rescue her? It seems like they would have to.
Dorothy has to get captured.
And she's like, what's the term for it? She's like tied spread eagle on this giant thing, and the witch is like about to sacrifice her.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Is Dorothy the main character? I mean, she starts out the main character, but when she hits Oz, is she the main character, or is Mr. Marine Guy the main character?
Well, I think it's probably kind of about their relationship.
Yeah, I would have to be. Yeah,
and the other ones are kind of.
She's the first one. He's the first one she meets. I think we have to switch the order.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. So he's gonna go get her back no matter what, and so he's organizing.
And he convinces the computer nerd and the druggie.
Which the computer nerd would have to like hack into the systems in order to shut down the witch's security and stuff.
And he's very Jeff Goldblum in Independence Day.
Oh,
when he's like typing and like,
yeah. I will not do a visual demonstration of that.
Okay, and then we need to have some sort of very violent ending for the witch.
Well, let's see.
I guess it could be.
I think what should happen is at some point the Marine, they rescue Dorothy from whatever she's at, but then they get separated from her, and the witch and Dorothy are like isolated alone on top of the tallest tower, and it's just a fight between the two of them.
So cat fight.
Yeah, cat fight.
Okay.
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah. And L. Frank Baum is rolling in his grave right now.
Actually, you could use the water if, like, the witch equipped her with, like, a giant super soaker, maybe.
Or maybe water could be some sort of, some precious element in this world. Or
maybe, maybe it's the water that short circuits the witch's force field that protects her.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah, might work.
We need a catchphrase, too. When the witch dies, she's like, da-da-da. But I don't know. You're soaked. Okay, that might not go well on the poster.
That's really ridiculous.
You're not in Kansas anymore. I guess we should have Kansas be like the name of her, like, I don't know, strip club.
Kansas.
Okay, no far out.
Maybe that's her stripper name. It's Dorothy Kansas.
No, don't even go there.
Okay,
because too many bad jokes come off that now.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
All
right. So that's Michael Bay doing Wizard of Oz.
Derailed Trains of Thought, your premier podcast on storytelling. Subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher.